Let's see if... Oh, I can't talk to dude. I guess he would be quite upset with me anyways, but... I just enter. I don't even knock now. Doesn't seem like there's much going on here. Okay. Enter. Hello? You, I told you to stay away from my family. Don't drag my grandchildren into this any more than you already have. Stay back. I have a question. I have questions about the Kamikai, the group your daughter and son-in-law were part of. You're the only one alive who'd remember. I don't know anything about it. Leave me... Enough. Listen to yourself. Do you even realize you're lying anymore? Takashi told us everything. And you, Ito, just because your investigation's important, you don't have to give you the right to barge in here. Your grandma and I need to talk. If it upsets you, maybe I should go. No, I'm not going anywhere. This is my house I grew up in, and as much as mine as its grandma's. If you have something to say, say in front of me. Only a little while ago I found out my parents died in some cult, and no one even knows why. You think hearing that was easy for me? I want to help you, Ito. But all the deceit and lies are starting to hurt people. What I'm chasing is so much worse. Tell that the poor man in the station. He's in the hospital now, terrified out of his wits. Ooh. People aren't only here to be used for information and then thrown away while you move on. They have lives too. Bringing up the past can hurt. Surely you of all people understand that. I do, but ignoring the past won't make it go away. There's unfinished business from the Kamikai that needs to be taken care of. What's left to talk about? Everyone's dead, right? About all this later. For now, let me and the detective talk. Go on. You were cooking us dinner, weren't you? But I'll be in the other room if you need me. I'm probably listening. I would, if I was in her situation, I would find it so hard not to listen into this conversation. Suppose there's no point in keeping a secret any longer. The truth is, my daughter never would have joined the Kamikai if it weren't for me. I convinced her and her husband to join. I was already a member. Ah, there we go. So she was a member. At the time I joined, my husband had left me and I had lost my job, suddenly leaving me single unemployed mother to take who could barely support her daughter. That's when Takai Master found me and told me that the society that stigmatized and shunned me was a fiction to be fought, and that my very soul was at stake. Of course, he used me as he did everyone else. As everyone wanted to hear that my struggles weren't my fault. They stole everything from me, my youth, my mind, they're my child. Then one day in 1996, they all died. The cause of the death was buried? Oh, the cause of the death was buried, and no autopsies were performed. Or if they were hidden. Why? That's simple. The government didn't care about some dead cultist in the woods, and covered it up so the papers wouldn't sensationalize their deaths. That's it. After everything I find, you expect me to believe that? 12 people died that day, and no one knows why. What happened? Tell me the truth. Fine, I'll tell you. They died for nothing, following the footsteps of a madman who believed that life was an illusion. As words and other compounds and other groups being spread. Right. As words of other compounds and groups being raided spread, Takomasa began warning us that the end was near. He believed that the world was collapsing and it was time for him and his followers to abandon the flesh and find purity among the gods. She didn't die for some conspiracy. She chose death because she had no longer had an anchor to reality. It was my fault. Beyond that, I didn't know what happened to them. No, you know something. In the report, it says that after the officers cleared the bodies, they found the mask. The same one handed to me 6 months ago. Boom. That's... would always keep it to himself, saying it granted him sight into the realm of the kami. I needed it, you understand? It allowed me to see strange things and people who were gone. The guru was a fool, a fake, but the mask was real. There was a rumor that the cult members were killed by one of their own. Surely you didn't. No. You don't understand. I would never kill my own child. I didn't take the mask. It was given to me. One day a man, some journalist or other, showed up at my door carrying the mask. I couldn't believe it. I begged him for it and he stood there, smiling at me. His eyes were like none I'd seen. It was strange. All he wanted in exchange for the mask was a picture of Imiko, the collector. When I joined the cult, I was forced to give my possessions, and I only had one left. But I gave it to him nonetheless. I thought, if I had the mask, I could find her. Maybe she would forgive me. As soon as I had it in my hands, my mind opened. I could hear her voice, chasing after her, thinking you could save her. Told you that as well, did he? Yes, it's true. Emiko was crying out to me, begging me to find her, to free her from the dark place. I did everything to hold her in my arms again, and plead her for forgiveness. I don't care if you don't believe me. Calling out to me. I do believe you. You're probably some of the few people left alive who knew what the mask was capable of. If you really thought it'd help you find her, then why did you give it to me? Because I was wrong. At first I only followed whispers, then I found myself in a strange labyrinth, chasing after her shade. The days bled together. I lost track of my grandchildren, of the shrine. It was an illusion. No matter how hard I tried, I never found her. I only became more and more disconnected to the world around me. I descended into madness. I was being used again, just as Takomasa had used me so many years before. Tried getting rid of it, throwing it away, burying it. None of it matters. It always came back. When I did, the visions of whispers only got worse. So I put it out of my mind and tried the best I could to live a life of solitude and ignoring the screams of my daughter. Then you came. When you did, the mask was screaming out in voices I'd never heard before. I thought it was a sign, so I gave it to you. I didn't even have time to breathe out a sigh of relief before I heard gunshot rang out. No one else ran to it. I think I was the only one who knew that sound for what it was. I thought the mask was punishing me once again and by taking my from me. Instead, it passed tragically to another. I'm sorry. Perhaps the knowledge of the mask should die with us. There's one other person who knows of the mask. A girl named Raina. Does that name mean anything to you? No, I don't know anybody by that name. Do you expect me to know everyone who's been touched by the mask? No, but you were involved in the group that worshipped it. Are you sure that you're telling me everything? Maybe the owner of Omega, he was tied to the cult? I don't know. What good could you know unless you're chasing someone too? That must be it. Mai told me you lost someone, your partner in the police. Is that right? If I'm right, then I suggest you stop searching. The place I was shown by the mask was not meant for the living. I barely escaped with my life. Stop while your mind and body remains intact. What if I told you there was another option? What other option? The months since I first met you, I had time to examine the ancient texts in the shrine, and as the mask grew further away, it loosened its grip on my mind. I knew then that it would someday make its way back to me, so I became determined to find a way to protect myself and my grandchildren from its influence. The darkness of the Kamenkai and its ritual object but manipulations used to sever our connections with what it truly desires. The mask breathes darkness. Dark forces can invade all manner of living and non-living things, driving them to violence or death. That which is evil cannot be used or tolerated. It must be destroyed. It's the only way to save us from its grip. Destroy the mask? I thought you said it couldn't be done. Not physically. Is everything alright? I overheard you talking about that mask again. Yes, dear, but you needn't worry. In fact, it's good you're here, as this talk involves you. You're trained in exorcism and purification rituals for some time, aren't you? Such a ritual could purify the mask and turn it into a mere piece of wood, given we gather the right materials, of course. Yeah, is that you think me of senile, but I'm quite serious. Even modern rituals have ancient roots, and with enough conviction, they're still capable of great power. Before I was content to die as long as the mask didn't hurt my children, as I was too feeble to do what was necessary myself. But now seeing you here, I have a second chance to do what is right. If you truly do know what the mask is, then you must help me destroy it. Slow down. I didn't come here to get involved in a ritual or exorcism or whatever you call it. I only want the truth about Kamakai, which you still haven't given me. You're a stubborn one, aren't you? So be it. I can see there's only one way to change your mind. The only trace of what happened that day would be the Kamakai compound itself. The records of its locations are lost. They were never made public, but I know where it is. What's the catch? Go there, search for your truth, see what worshipping the mask has wrought. When you return, you'll help me destroy it. What makes you so confident I'll change my mind? I went back once years ago. In all honesty, I'm not sure why. Perhaps to remind myself of my sins. What I saw and felt in that place, it was tinted by darkness and death. Those two things are all the mask will afford you. There's something else. I had a feeling you'd say that. The heavenly and natural air I felt when I returned to the compound was the same stench, the same quality of the tunnels where I searched for Emiko. Sounds like superstition to me. To be fair, you can't come this far and just start talking about superstition, but whatever. So what exactly is it you want in exchange for the information? I believe the engages of the mask and the places are linked. If you want to bring something back there, anything, it will help in the ritual. Looking for the truth will not bring you peace, detective. Purifying the mask very well might. Remember that. The compound is in the forest of Akigahara. That's the suicide forest. Yep. That's an actual real place if you don't know. There's a Akigahara is known as the suicide forest because it's become, well, known for places where people go to commit suicide. What a dreadful name, though I suppose those woods have seen their fair share of tragedy and death. It's dangerous. What if you get lost? GPS doesn't work in there, and I've heard even compasses won't point north. Not only that, but while a lot of people go there to die, I don't think you should go. By that mask like it's some evil spirit causing you pain, but I think the pain you're feeling isn't caused by the mask, it's just you. So many nights after that girl died in the shrine, I had nightmares every corner I went around. I thought I'd see her there. You could really drop a bombshell and say, yeah, that girl's meant to be dead 10 years ago. Or however, 20 years ago, potentially. It wasn't a ritual or charm that made me better, though. I just stopped listening to the fear and controlled it. When you told me to see Takashi, it was the first time I'd left Kamakura since April. It's embarrassing to me, but I was scared. And yeah, Takashi told me all the stuff about mom and dad was scary, but it's the truth. I wasn't hiding it from some demon I invented myself. Anyway, I know you might not listen to me, but I don't think you should put yourself in danger just so you can keep chasing your demons. Maybe you're right, but some demons have a way of spreading to others. Seeing the Kamakai compound is something I have to do. It's huge. How are you going to find one compound? Mine makes a good point. It's been a long time. Are you sure you remember where it is? Of course I do. I know what you two must think of me, but I'm not senile. It's a hike away from the bus stop at the outskirts of Narusawa. Used to go into town occasionally for supplies. Several miles away from the bus stop, there's a clearing and a path they use time to time by forest service. I'll draw you a map before you leave. It's not going to look really great, just saying as well. Ito, the shamed detective, going alone into the suicide forest. Just saying. It continues for quite some time and eventually it will be blocked off. Keep going forward and don't turn back or leave the path. The forest can play tricks on you. Still there. It seems pretty incredible to me that compound will be left alone all these years. It still stands after all. Why would they bother going dismantle it? Go, search for a truth you think you'll find. But be careful, detective. Do what you must. Do what must be done, then leave. Staying there is dangerous. I hope that once you enter the place and feel the energy I did, you'll have the sense to see what I never could. You understand? Don't you? The mask must be purified. Oh. It honestly depends on what I find. As much as it sucks, going after Tanaka is not something I kind of want to do. We've been warned about the whole Izanagi Izumai thing, and you know, many stories have warned people don't go chasing the dead. Even in this game, even in like, was it the Monkey's Paw? Many things we shouldn't really do so. But I'm curious in what's going on. I feel that purifying the mask too early might ruin that. Don't be a fool. Finding what happened that day won't change nothing. You're being haunted by your past, chasing phantoms as I did. To be honest, I'm really just more curious what's going on with Reina. When you enter the dark places, you'll leave places behind. Purify it. Stop this while you're still whole. I'll begin preparations for the ceremony regardless. Good, do it. Like, all honestly, I do want this mask purified once I'm done. Like, if I end up dying or whatever, you'll said it yourself, you'll probably end up with a mask again. And then just purify it. Boom, done. But I need to see what happens. She never said anything like to me. You must really scared her. Listen, I'll help you with this ritual because I think it'll help Grandma get better. But don't get yourself killed. I know in your eyes I'm still probably just a kid. But I know how much it hurts to want the truth. Takashi obsessed over the past, and I was miserable not knowing. Grandma almost went insane on top of that. Grandma said it herself. You're still young. You should forget about all this and start over. You might not want to hear this, but listening to you two talk about masks and spirits, well, you sound like that girl at the shrine. It scares me and it should scare you too. Take care of yourself, Ito. I just want to see if I can interact with anything this way before leaving. Nope. Okay. Well, looks like we get a fun journey ahead. Oh. To 120 kilomiles. Better known as Suicide Forest. Despite its nickname, the volcanic earth it grows on makes the forest beautiful and green. Every year, however, a large amount of people wander in intended to be their final resting place. Occasional authorities have to comb through it for new bodies. This is going to be an ordeal, I feel.